from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, I am Marvin Ross in with your VON Major News package for today, Tuesday, 13th November 2018. In our lead stories nationally, flood flush alert for St. Kitts and Nevis, and public consultations on universal health care to begin here on Nevis on November 20th. Regionally, CCJ declares Guyana's cross-dressing law unconstitutional. Internationally, winds propel fires across California as death toll rises. And in sports, Empire wins Department of Youth and Sports state ball cricket competition. We'll add the details to these and other stories after this short break.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back and on to our national news segment. A flash flood watch is in effect for low-lying and flood-prone areas of Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla, valid from 5 a.m. today until midnight tonight. A flash flood watch means that moderate to major flooding is possible but not imminent in the watch area. Residents in low-lying and flood-prone areas should make preparations for flooding to safeguard life and property. They should be prepared to move to higher ground if flooding rains develop or a flood flush warning is issued. A tropical wave interacting with a trough over the Leeward Islands is causing periodic heavy showers and will continue to support the formation of showers and thunderstorms over these islands until tonight. Rainfall accumulations of 2 inches are possible, hence moderate flooding of low-lying and flood-prone areas is possible, and this watch could be upgraded to an advisory or warning that is at short notice if warranted. Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Services and the St. Kitts Met Services will continue to monitor the weather situation. Please stay tuned to local radio or television for watch updates and possible warnings. And residents here on Nevis will get an opportunity to contribute to the discussion on universal health care here in St. Kitts and Nevis. This when the National Commission on Universal Health Care hosts a series of town hall meetings over the next few weeks to educate people and receive feedback on the Green Paper on Universal Health for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Green Paper includes issues such as financing options and proposed benefit packages. The town hall meetings are scheduled to begin here on Nevis on Tuesday, 20th November 2018. Subsequent meetings will be held on November 22nd, 26th, 27th, and December 4th. The public consultations, which begin in St. Kitts on Monday, November 12th, 2018, are expected to be completed on December 10th, 2018. Empowering women and accelerating the rate of female entrepreneurship will be a key focus for Global Entrepreneurship Week, GEW 2018, which began on Monday, 12th November, here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Minister for International Trade, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, said women play an important role in society and accelerating the rate of female entrepreneurship can have a positive effect on their entry into the labor force. He said a number of organizations will play their part and continue to work to ensure that the support is in place for female entrepreneurs to start up businesses, flourish, and grow. These include the Ministry of International Trade, the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Caribbean Center for Excellence, that is Caribbean Center of Excellence for Sustainable Livelihoods, COESL, Youth Empowerment, the Department of Culture, and other partner organizations. Activities for Global Entrepreneur Week, GEW, will be held under the distinct themes recognizing women, youth, inclusion in entrepreneurship, and connecting eco-support systems around the world. Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, will on Tuesday, November 20th, seek to update citizens and residents of Nevis on matters of national interest by way of his monthly press conference. It will begin at 9:30 a.m. at the Cabinet Room on the second floor of the Social Security Building at Pinnes Estate. Members of the press will be afforded the opportunity to ask questions for the listening and viewing public. The press conference will be broadcasted live on the Voice of Nevis, Vaughan Radio. A bulb drive to be held on November 16th and November 30th. An initiative organized as part of Energy Month in St. Kitts and Nevis is aimed at educating the general public on energy efficiency. The bulb drive will see officials of the energy sector free light emitting. That is, the bulb drive will see officials of the energy sector free light emitting diode LED bulbs to the public. According to the United States Department of Energy, rapid adoption of LED bulbs would save hundreds of millions of tons of greenhouse gases from entering the atmosphere. It said LED and compact fluorescent light CFL bulbs have revolutionized energy efficient lighting. Other events planned to celebrate Energy Month, which runs throughout the month of November, include but are not limited to radio talks, health fair, health and fun walks, and school visits. St. Kitts and Nevis Montenegro have signed. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montenegro have signed an agreement to abolish visas between the two countries. Montenegro is a country in southern Europe on the Adriatic Sea. The agreement will allow citizens of both countries to enter each other's territory for up to 90 days visa-free. In a ceremony held on Monday at the High Commission in London, High Commission of St. Kitts and Nevis to the United Kingdom, His Excellency Dr. Kevin Isaac, and Ambassador to Montenegro to the United Kingdom, His Excellency Byaslav Banovic, signed the agreement. His Excellency Isaac observed that the agreement signals well for the relationship between the St. Kitts and Nevis and Montenegro, and that it reflects the sustained commitment of the Team Unity administration to broaden the Federation's global network of partners. And in police news, 33-year-old Shavern Scott of Stapleton Village, St. Kitts, was sentenced to 3 years and 1 month in prison at the High Court hearing on Friday, November 9th. Furthermore, he pleaded guilty to the charge of unlawful wounding. His sentence began from the date of the hearing. Based on reports of arrests and convictions from the police, back in September 2016, Shavern was arrested, formally charged and cautioned for wounding with intent. The offense was committed on August 26, 2016. And finally, in our national news segment, the environment and the Charlestown Primary School CPS will become more conducive once the expansion project for the magnificent office is completed. So says Minister of Communication and Works here on Nevis, the Honorable Spencer Brand. The expansion project, which began in August 2018 and is expected to be completed by year end in time for January 2019, which is around the same time when students return to school from the Christmas holidays. The project will cost more than $500,000. Is being done by contractor Mr. Alton Brown. It also entails the construction of a 2-story concrete building. Upon completion of the project, the principal, deputy principal, and the administrative staff will be housed on the top floor, which will be outfitted with washroom facilities. On the bottom floor will be the staff room, a kitchen, and washroom facilities. Mr. Brand said there is much to be done at the learning facility, and he intends to keep his promise to the people of Charlestown and to add a science lab for the school. That concludes our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com, or you can visit our social media page on Facebook at Von Radio and our YouTube page at Von Radio. News from across the region comes up next.
In the hurricane season and danger is right upon us. That is why we at the Bank of Nevis Limited have decided that it is time we finish your home. Get that well-needed fence or make some minor upgrades to your home. On a more serious note, install some shutters to keep your family safe during this hurricane season. Visit us or contact us today at 1-869-469-5564. The Bank of Nevis Limited will always stay committed to improving the quality of life.
Welcome back and on to our regional news segment. The Trinidad-based Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, today ruled as unconstitutional a law in Guyana that makes it a criminal offense for a man or a woman to appear in public while dressed in clothing of the opposite sex. The CCJ, Guyana's highest court, said that the law, Section 153(1) of the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act, is to be struck from the laws of the country and that costs are to be awarded to the applicants in the appeal before it and the lower courts. In 2009, several trans women were arrested and convicted under the 1893 Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act of the offense of being a man appearing in female attire in public for an improper purpose. They spent 3 nights in police detention in Georgetown after their arrest for the minor crime. They all pleaded guilty to the cross-dressing charge and were fined. The matter was appealed to the Guyana Court of Appeal and finally to the CCJ, with the appellants arguing that the law violated their constitutional rights to equality and non-discrimination and freedom of expression, thereby offending the rule of law. The 5-member CCJ panel, headed by its president, Justice Adrian Saunders, first examined the historical context surrounding law, which was enacted in Guyana in 1983 as part of the vagrancy laws of the post-emancipation era. The panel agreed that this law, that is, was from a different time and no longer served any legitimate purpose in Guyana, with Justice Saunders reiterating that law and society are dynamic, not static. And in more news out of Trinidad, the Caribbean Court of Justice CCJ has dismissed a challenge filed by an aspiring lawyer who claimed that the admission process at law schools in the region discriminates against those who do not have a law degree from the University of the West Indies, UWI. The challenge was mounted by Trinidadian Jason Jones, who in July this year filed an application for special leave against the Council of Legal Education, CLE, the Council for Social and Human Development, COHSOD, and the Council for Trade and Economic Development, COTED. The CLE was established in 1971 by the agreement establishing the Council of Legal Education and operates 3 law schools in the region: the Norman Manley Law School, the Hugh Wooding Law School, and the Eugene Dupuch Law School. These law schools awarded the Legal Education Certificate, LEC, and the agreement provides that no person can be admitted in these signatory countries to practice as an attorney at law who does not hold the LEC. Jones, who holds a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of London, a Master of Laws in Oil and Gas Law, and a graduate diploma in law, failed the entrance examinations to the law schools in 2015 and 2016. He paid the requisite fees for the examination in 2017, but did not sit it, saying that he was too disenchanted and discouraged with the entire process. 2 weeks after Guyana Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination, SASOD, was expecting a ruling by the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, in an appeal that focuses on the rights of transgender persons in Trinidad, that is, the Trinidad-based court, announced it's ready to give a decision. Late last month, SASOD announced that the long-awaited judgment would be delivered on October 30th, 4 months after the matter was heard by the Trinidad-based court. However, the CCJ subsequently released a statement saying that no date has been set. But in a release issued this morning, the CCJ said it will hand down the decision in Quincy McEwan, Sion Clark, Joseph Fraser, Sion Prasad versus the Attorney General of Guyana, a case which challenged the constitutionality of the law that criminalizes wearing attire of a different gender in public in Guyana. And in news out of Barbados, 3 earthquakes, the largest of which had a magnitude of 6.3, were registered in the Caribbean over the weekend. There were no reported injuries or damage from any of them, however. The first was a 4.9 magnitude quake that the Seismic Research Center, SRC, of the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies said occurred at about 12:25 p.m. on Saturday, 74 kilometers northeast of St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda, 142 kilometers north of Puerto Pitre, Guadeloupe, and 159 kilometers east of Basseterre, St. Kitts and Nevis. That was followed by the 6.3 magnitude tremor off Barbados' coast the next morning. While the SRC did not release any information about the quake, the U.S. Geological Survey reported that it occurred at 9:04 a.m., 674.9 miles west-southwest of the island's capital, Bridgetown. Then on Sunday at 8:47 p.m., a 3.9 magnitude earthquake was detected off Trinidad and Tobago, which has experienced several tremors in recent weeks. The SRC has said that the recent increased level of fault earthquakes in Trinidad and Tobago is not unusual, but has urged the citizens in the Twin Island Republic and the rest of the Caribbean to remain on alert because of destructive tremor. That is, because a destructive tremor could hit at any time. And finally, in our regional news segment, according to White House officials, President Donald Trump does not want to give Puerto Rico any more federal money for its recovery from Hurricane Maria, claiming without evidence that the island's government is using federal disaster relief money to pay off debt. On October 23rd, Trump falsely claimed in a tweet that Puerto Rico's inept politicians are trying to use the massive and ridiculously high amounts of hurricane disaster funding to pay off other obligations without specifying what these other obligations might be. San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz, who has frequently butted heads with Trump on social media since last year's deadly Hurricane Maria, wasted no time responding to the smear. Cruz immediately tweeted that none of the relief funds will be used to pay back creditors, which include American hedge funds. According to media reports, President Trump also told senior officials last month that he would like to claw back some of the federal money Congress has already set aside for Puerto Rico's disaster recovery, claiming mismanagement. And that's it for regional news. International news and sports comes up next as the VON Major News Package continues. Welcome back and on to our international news segment. Strong winds have been fueling California's deadly fires as search and rescue teams begin the grim task of searching for bodies among the ashes. Winds of up to 40 miles per hour are expected throughout Tuesday in the state's south, where the Woolsey fire is threatening some 57,000 homes. Firefighters in the north are still battling the Camp Fire, which has left at least 42 people dead. Meanwhile, 2 new fires began in the south on Monday. They started within minutes of each other. The smaller of the two has been put out, according to media reports. And 8 people have been killed in a flare-up of violence between Israel and Palestinian militants in Gaza. More than 460 rockets have been fired into Israel by militants since Monday night, while Israeli aircraft have hit 160 militant targets in response. 7 Palestinians, several of them militants, died in the strikes on Gaza, while a Palestinian civilian was killed in a rocket attack in southern Israel. Later, Palestinian militant groups said Egypt had brokered a ceasefire. The military wing of Hamas, the Islamist movement that dominates Gaza, said it would abide by the declaration as long as the Zionist enemy commits to it. And UK and EU officials have agreed to a draft text of Brexit agreement in a significant breakthrough for the talks. A cabinet source told the BBC that the document has been agreed at a technical level by officials from both sides after intensive talks this week. A special cabinet meeting will be held on Wednesday as Theresa May seeks ministers' backing. Chris Morris reports.
A legal text of the withdrawal agreement, the document designed to set the terms for the UK leaving the European Union, that's been agreed at technical level between the 2 teams of negotiators. But obviously everyone knows that the roadblocks and the complications are at the political level. And that's not necessarily just in the UK either. So we now understand that there will be a cabinet meeting tomorrow. So the cabinet will be obviously looking at this. Individual cabinet ministers will also be looking at the text. But don't forget, there's got to be similar processes in other countries.
And an armed security guard at a bar in suburban Chicago was killed by police as he detained a suspected gunman, according to officials and witnesses. After gunfire erupted on Sunday, Jamel Robinson, 26, chased down an attacker and knelt on his back until police arrived. Moments after police came on the scene, an officer opened fire on Robertson, who was black, killing him. Friends say Robinson was a musician who had dreams of joining the police. Robertson worked as a gospel musician at several nearby churches and also had found work at Manny's Blue Room in Robbins, Illinois, where the shooting had occurred. And that concludes our international news segment. The latest in sports comes up next.
It's big, it's large, it's huge. It's the Mega Money Christmas Loan from TDC Financial Services. This holiday season, get $25,000 unsecured and a chance to win mega prizes. Win a mega 49-inch curved TV, deferred payment, gift cards, ham, turkey, and more mega prizes. Make your holiday mega with the Mega Money Christmas Loan from TDC Financial Services. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and now the latest in sports. Empire emerged the champion of the Department of Youth and Sports tape ball cricket competition. In the final played on Sunday, 11th November at the El Comido T. Willett Park, they beat All Stars by 35 runs. The scores are as follows. Empire, 97 for 4 in 10 overs. Adelvin Phillip, 68. Kian Pemberton, 22. Willett, and Ake Dianto Willett 1 wicket each for the All-Stars. All-Stars 62 all out in 8.1 overs. Akito Willett 22, Giovanni Tyson 15. Joel Simmons 2 for 5, Adelvin Phillip 2 for 9, Jay Allen 2 for 18, T1 Prentice and S. Merchant 1 wicket each for the umpire. Man of the match, Adelvin Phillip. And in more cricket news, former Sri Lanka all-rounder Dihara Lokuhetij has become the 10th player this year to be charged with corruption by the International Cricket Council. The ICC has charged a 32-year-old with 3 counts of breaching the Emirates Cricket Board ECB anti-corruption code. The charges relate to the T10 Cricket League played in the UAE last year. He has been charged, that is, with being party to an effort to fix a match result, directly soliciting a player to breach the same article, and failing to disclose any approaches to engage in corrupt conduct. He has been provisionally suspended with immediate effect and has 14 days to respond to the charges. He has played in 9 one-day internationals and 2 T20 internationals between 2005 and 2013. And in football news, all 20 Premier League clubs have been asked for £250,000 contribution so that the league's outgoing executive chairman, Richard Scaldamore, can be given a £5 million farewell gift. The clubs were asked for the money before meeting today. It is expected that they will agree to Chelsea chairman Bruce Burke's request. Scaldamore, 59, who is reportedly paid $2.5 million, that is £1 million per season, is stepping down next month after 19 years at the organization. The league's UK television rights were valued at around £670 million when he joined, and the last deal was worth £5.14 billion. Should every club contribute, the outgoing boss will receive an additional £5 million windfall, that is windfall as token of appreciation for his successful tenure. Scaldamore joined the Premier League in November 1999 as chief executive before moving to his current role in June 2014. And that concludes our sporting news. The latest in the weather comes up next. And your weather forecast for tonight, cloudy with showers. There is also a 70% or high chance of some heavy showers and thunderstorms occurring. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a 70% or high chance of showers during the morning. Thereafter, partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. The winds are easterly at 26 to 37 kilometers per hour or 14 to 20 knots with gusts mainly in showers. Seas are significant with wave heights of 1.8 to 2.4 meters or 6 to 8 feet. A small craft advisory remains in effect. Your sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:14 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Tuesday, 13th November 2018. But before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. In our national news headline, flash flood alert for St. Kitts and Nevis, and the public consultations on universal health care to begin here in Nevis on November 20th. Regionally, CCJ declares Guyana's cross-dressing as unconstitutional. Internationally, winds propel fires across California as death toll rises. And in sports, Empire wins Department of Youth and Sports State Ball Cricket Competition. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Marvin Ross, and I'm wishing you a pleasant evening.